everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
Welcome. Whoa, that was very loud, GR Dad.
I'm very impressed with myself. Wow. Dynamic.
Welcome back to the beautiful Florida Keys.
It's nice now.
What do you mean now?
When I came back, I was in the 50s. I was freezing.
There was one really cold, windy day.
Freezing.
Well, I'm glad you're back.
So cold. I'm glad I'm back too.
The cocktail of the week is called the Mexican 75. It's like a French 75 meets a margarita. So French 75 is gin and lemon juice and a little bit of simple syrup and champagne. And this is tequila, lime juice, a little bit of simple syrup or agave syrup if you're fancy, and champagne.
Bothers me. Should not be called the French 75 is a gun. There's a cannon. There's no Mexican 75. Maybe it's the Mexican 8-pounder, the Mexican 6-pounder. Maybe.
It's good that you're not in charge of naming cocktails.
These are great discussions. You don't understand.
You're right, I don't.
Low stakes, low information, high volume.
For the Patreons and the super followers, we do little GR Dad Explains the World videos usually once a week. We didn't do one this week because you were traveling. But it's always like, here's GR Dad explaining how he makes coffee. And then you're going on and on. I'm always like, that's boring. Like, stop this part. And then all the super followers are like, I totally want to hear GR Dad talk about the brand of coffee filter that he uses.
See?
So I apparently am wrong that people are interested in your ramblings about stuff.
Well, you're profoundly uninterested in it. It's funny. I like it. I think all these details are interesting.
I was telling some people, like, you had made some comment, maybe it was in the podcast last week, you made a dad joke, and everybody's like, I can hear Jen rolling her eyes, and there was much celebration of your dad joke. And I was like, you guys, I hear all the dad jokes, like all the bad ones that don't land and aren't funny. You guys get the good ones. Yeah. I get all the bad ones constantly.
I think you're reading them online and you think they're in my voice. I don't actually tell as many dad jokes as I could. You make a lot of like dad-like comments that you think are funny. Yeah, well, that is true.
And some of them are funny, but I'd say like a solid 80% are not funny.
Yeah, and one thing I've learned is that repeating them doesn't actually work to make them funnier to you. Well, it's been somewhat successful sometimes in the past. Sometimes I think you maybe just didn't hear me right. Or you didn't understand it.
Nope.
Neither is usually the case.
Nope,
your ears are funny. Better than mine. And your comprehension is as good as mine, too. So it's just you don't think it's funny. But I can never believe that you think it's not funny.
Yeah, you do. Often you'll repeat a third time.
I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe if I just get you to understand the humor, it will be funny to you. But I've come to accept some of these things are just sad.
All right, let's begin with Administrative Corner. Your perhaps favorite segment of the podcast.
I love Administrative Corner.
There's not much this week, except last week I talked about how we got a challenge for getting reels on Facebook, and we don't know how much we get in bonus, but they said that we could get up to $35,000 if we get a lot of reel views on Facebook. So I'm going to give you a live update. I've been doing this for about 10 days now, and my current bonus out of the $35,000 possible dollars is $236.
I thought it was like 17 cents.
I mean, $236 I will take, man. Like, that's not $0. But out of 35,000.
Do you think it's linear and you can actually project out? You could actually project out? No.
I do not.
It's not. It's none of these things.
I do not. It is almost certainly not linear.
It's a black box.
And they do not tell you how much. Yeah.
This is the worst bribe I've ever heard.
Yeah. You ranted about this last time, but just in case anyone was wondering, do I have $35,000? The answer is a resounding no, and I'm not going to get it.
No.
I'll be happy to get like $600 by the time this challenge is up. Okay, that's it for Administrative Corner. Dog updates. I think the main thing to talk about is you have returned with the dogs from boot camp.
Yes, I did. I did come back. It was cold up there. I mean, it was like 25 when I left. The Remy and Voodoo did not seem to mind. They have discovered their love of chomping each other in cold temperatures when you can see their breath and they can see each other's breath. So they were good. They were great driving companions. Nobody climbed, let me get this right, nobody climbed in any forbidden compartments during the drive.
You got to talk about your stay in Savannah.
Yeah, we took an extra day and stayed in Savannah for 2 nights. So we got in late, stayed the next day, full next day in Savannah, and then drove back, back down to the Keys after that. So
and we'll just add that your daughter was with you.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
It was so I had 2 drivers, so I had another driver.
Makes it easier.
Mm-hmm. It was great, but we stayed at an Airbnb, which we're happy to recommend.
Oh, it was great
to anyone. It was a little cottage downtown in Savannah, close to stuff. You could walk pretty much anywhere in a quarter of an hour.
Across the street from a dog park.
Across the street from a dog park. I mean, that was great. Like a free, dog run kind of place. And so they could play out there and did a little bit. And it's just having it not have any adjoining walls with anything meant that if they were to bark, and of course, they didn't because they're perfect angels, it wouldn't have been bothersome. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was great. I mean, the place was really charming. The location was really good.
Yeah. It's like a little 2-level, 2-bedroom thing.
Like it's a carriage house.
It doesn't sleep 14 or anything, but it sleeps 4 easily.
Yep.
Carriage house. Yeah. 2 bathrooms. It was great.
Yeah.
It was a carriage house. Yeah. Or cottage. So anyway, so that was great. And then we drove back on the Saturday and, got here and it was in the 50s, which seems almost as cold as 20 in Maryland.
I think you've exhausted your quota of complaining about the weather.
Okay, never mind. It's fine. Everything's great. Yeah, and Remy and Voods are slightly better trained now than before. They kind of know when we're calling them, although I gotta say, they're not completely perfect. They're not dog show material by any means.
They've got some beginnings that allow us to do the lots more work that is necessary to
do. We will have to actually work with them and work on a longer leash and do some exercises. It's just it takes some sort of one-on-one time that we haven't taken in the last week.
Yep. When you did get back, you brought up a bunch of bags of like stuff from the car, one of which was half a carton of hard-boiled eggs that you were using as egg carrots.
Yeah, I'd been using egg carrots because Voods and Remy aren't carrot eaters, and I didn't want to use the turkey slices because they don't keep as well. So I had some hard-boiled eggs on the drive, so I brought them upstairs. Everyone was, I was bringing up my bags. Everyone was really happy to see me, and all of a sudden, Voods is on her bed, and there's Vink is on her bed, and there's little eggshells around her that she's frantically chomping up. She had eaten half the egg carton and all 3 eggs, all 3 hard-boiled eggs.
Good job, Vink.
And she was very pleased with herself and not at all negatively infected.
Yep.
I was so sneaky and so quick, though. Very quick.
Yep. So everybody's glad to be home. Voods continues to try to eat toilet paper at all opportunities off the roll, so we now have to keep the doors closed on all the bathrooms, which we're starting to have to do before, but he's really obsessive about it.
Yeah.
When the doors are closed, he lays in front of the doors and looks at them.
He is
waiting to get in.
He is so sneaky. When he's bored, he wanders around looking for open doors to like go in and wreak havoc in.
Do you think CB needs to go out?
Yep.
Now you want to do that? I'll pause the podcast.
Okay.
Brody deceived us. He did not need to go out. He just wants extra dinner.
He's tricky, that one.
Okay, so that's that. The one other thing to just talk about that's new in the household is the snuffle mat. So a friend of the squad, normally I don't like unsolicited advice, but a friend of the squad was like, at the rescue I work at, we use a thing called a snuffle mat, and it's really good for anxious dogs, and it like gives their brain a workout. Maybe it would work for Brody. And I was like, what the heck? We try everything with that dog. He does exactly what he was just doing, stands and pants at us when he gets anxious every night. So I bought the snuffle mat, which looks kind of like a flower. It's got a bunch of like felt loops in concentric circles. And the idea is that you put the food in there and it gets, inside all the little folds, and they have to snuffle around and get the food out. And he did it, but he really didn't like it. He got kind of frustrated with it. he'd leave it with some food left in there. He's just like, I'm done with this. This is dumb.
Yeah, it's like the ultimate slow feeder, which is frustrating.
Yeah, he was not stimulated by it. He was just upset by it. And I was like, well, we got a bunch of other dogs. Let's try it with Remy. Remy thinks it's great. He's so engaged, and he spends like 3 times as long eating his food now. And he is really having a good time.
He's more patient or energetic. He's definitely got energy.
I mean, it's supposed to be like mentally stimulating, like make them use their nose and hunt for stuff, and they're supposed to like it. Brody really didn't, but you can tell that he does, right? Like he really likes snuffling around for stuff, and we've only been using it a couple days with him, but he seems intrigued by it.
Yeah, no, so. It's a snuffle mat. Sounds like something you'd get at IKEA. The snuffle mat for your doggen.
Well, he's doing good. We've been, with the aid of our vet, adjusting his insulin. He was on 9 units, and his insulin was too high, or his blood sugar was too high. So then we put him on 10 units, and he had a crash, and it got too low. And so we're like, let's try 9.5, which is so hard to pull a half, even on the tiny syringes.
Oh my goodness.
We were trying 9.5, and he still had some crashes. So now we have to go back to 9, where he wasn't having crashes, but his sugar was too high. So we have an appointment with an internist. Like the end of March, because that's the first time we could get one.
This is in Miami.
Yeah. Our vet here is like consults with an internist and is going to send some numbers up there. And she's also going to talk to the ophthalmologist and see, given that we have very precisely pinpointed the dose of insulin he has to be on so he doesn't have any low blood sugar crashes, if they'll do the surgery, even though his sugars tend to be a little bit high, because it's as controlled as we can get it, basically. So, we'll start getting some answers in a couple weeks. That's the Remy update.
Yep.
Do you want to do... so just household updates. We're getting our dock put in this week. There's much banging and inserting of pipes into the ground.
Pounding of stakes of pillars.
So there will be pictures soon.
Prodigious pillar pounding proceeding.
You're trying to say the P's into that microphone.
I'm supposed to have a screen for that. I'm supposed to have a screen for this.
It hurts my ears.
Sorry.
You want to do German word of the week?
Sure. Are we there already?
Yeah.
We don't have any dog updates?
We just did a whole bunch of dog updates. We did Vink with the eggs, Return Road Trip, Boots toilet paper, Snuffle Mat, and Remy blood sugar.
Yeah.
I have a list.
They're all very good dogs. That's all I want to say.
Okay.
Yes, German word of the week. Fruchtfleisch.
Whoa. What kind of meat is that?
It's fruit meat.
I should have known that. Look, I guess I say the U a little
It's
different.
just the inside of fruit.
Fruchtfleisch. Oh, like the meat of a coconut, but it's the meat of any fruit.
Yeah, what do you call the inside of a fruit? There's a word with it with P.
The flesh.
Yeah, there's flesh.
The flesh of an apple.
Sure. Do you say the flesh of an apple? You say the flesh of an orange. Do you say the flesh of an apple?
Yeah. I mean...
Pulp is the word I saw.
You're getting all the P words today.
I didn't mean to, but...
If you just move the microphone slightly off to the side when you say your P's... No, slightly. Just so it's not quite in front of your mouth.
Pulp. Pulp.
The pulp of an orange.
But in true German fashion, they've just, described what it kind of looks like and just called it Fruchtfleisch instead of making up a new name.
I mean, why not?
Yeah. So, but that's anything. Right? That could be any insides of any fruit, or.
So you'd say the flesh of an apple, or the Fruchtfleisch for an apple.
Yeah, and it's mostly to distinguish it from the peel, right? So you get inside the peel, and then you have the Fruchtfleisch. What is?
I'm just
more peas.
Yes, I think you're not as sensitive. Look, see where my mic is right here.
Yeah.
If you just go like this, so it's like at the corner of your mouth, and then you say your P words. They don't pop as much.
I can't reach your mouth. I will try to be sensitive to the P's, because I don't think I usually say that many P's.
No, today you just picked all P words.
Really bad. Okay. Anyway, Fruchtfleisch.
Fruchtfleisch. That's a good one. All right. Here's my my taste of the keys for this week. The headline is "Couple Arrested for Theft of Millions."
What?
A Miami couple was arrested in Miami-Dade County Friday. This is last Friday, maybe 2 Fridays ago, on warrants related to the theft of an estimated $2.5 million from a Stock Island fish house and multiple commercial fishermen.
Oh, that's a lot of money.
Both suspects worked for a fish house on Stock Island. One was the general manager. One was the assistant general manager.
That's a problem.
The owner of the fish house and 3 commercial fishermen contacted the sheriff's office in early 2021 saying that they were stealing money. So there was an investigation, and they'd been putting thousands of commercial stone crab and lobster tags in the name of one of these 2 people instead of in the names of the commercial fishermen. And so then the commercial fishermen couldn't legally fish because they didn't have the permits because they were in this lady's name, and then they couldn't sell their catch. And then the dude placed a commercial fisherman's boat in her name. Oh no, the lady, since it's male
assistant manager.
Couple. Yeah, put a commercial fisherman's boat in her name, also without permission. So it's just like, my boat now. And then the fish house lost money due to the fishermen being unable to sell their product to the company, right? So it's like, these are the 3 commercial fishermen that we buy our fish from every day, and then the permits aren't in their name, so they can't go fish
legally.
And you're doing it above board if you're selling to a restaurant generally. And so then the fish house doesn't have any fish to sell.
This is a terrible scam. How did they think they were not going to get caught?
I know.
Also, stealing the boat by titling it to her is a bold move.
It sure is.
I mean,
so
yeah.
The sheriff's office, the investigation showed that it cost at least $2.5 million in total losses for the fishermen in the fish house. And they were like illegally selling lobsters to other places as well. And that was $100,000.
Scammy McScammersons.
Yep.
That's
so
terrible.
Warrants, and they were arrested and transported from Miami to Monroe County here in the Keys, where they will be prosecuted. They were clearly taken to jail. One of them is held on $400,000 bail, and one is held on $100,000 bail.
Well, she has a boat. She can just sell that to
kidding.
bail herself out. Oh, also the crocodile remains menacing around here.
No, Crocodile's gone.
What? No, what now?
Crocodile's gone.
This is worth an update.
The Croco man has left.
What? How?
All right.
How is this proven? Maybe he's just hiding.
Fish and Wildlife came out. It's a she. She has a name.
Oh.
It's Crocodile.
Crocodile.
Yep, she's number 33. She has a bunch of pellets in her head because some people in the past, not now, got mad at her and shot her with pellets.
Oh, I feel bad for Crocodile now.
I know. Everybody does, as they got the story from FWC. She just kind of goes all over the place. She's got a radio tag on her neck, and she's got a mark on her tail.
Oh, so they knew about
They know who she is, yeah.
Oh.
They said she's very timid. They're like, oh, I'd swim in the canal if she were in there.
Says the
Fish
and Wildlife people. Well,
and I'm like, okay, great. Let's go.
Show me.
Anyway, she's gone now. I thought they
moved
moved
her. Did they take her, or did she?
I originally, when I was originally told, I thought they took her, but it seems like she just kind of left. They shoot her away.
I feel bad for Crocodile.
I know. So if she stays far away, that would be great, because she does not deserve to be shot at. But
no.
It was disturbing that she had that dead raccoon in her mouth.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Better than a broiled chicken or something. I mean, that's at least wild food, you know.
Better than somebody's dog.
She's clearly a good crocodile.
All right. See, you give her a name, Crocodile, and that happens.
Well, you show that she's been victimized by humans in the past. That really helps too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
So anyway, yeah, she's gone for now.
Well, good for her.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for this week.
Can't believe you weren't going to update on Crocodile.
Sorry. I just forgot. It's been a long seeming week.
Well, you've had a lot of construction going on and stuff. There's been a lot of things happening. You've been general managing many projects.
I certainly have.
Yeah, which is, you're used to it, but this is a lot even for you.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Well, we'll probably have a longer podcast next week after we spend a week together.
Well, we'd have to, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
This was really short.
It's a speedy one this time.
I feel a bit ripped off myself.
And until next time, don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Don't bite anyone unless they ask you to.
Bye.
Bye.